So much Christian teaching sounds really like the law. It sounds like law. Christians are perceived to be a people who, by those outside of the faith, perceived to be people who obey a whole lot of rules and have to live a certain kind of life. You have to live by these rules and obey all these laws. Where do you think they get that idea from? They get it from us. Because that's so often the way we communicate faith and what it looks like to live the Christian life. We all agree we are saved by faith, and there's no work plays no part in that. Our works have no part in our salvation. It's the work of Christ. That's all. The finished work of Christ. That's it. And so we all agree that we are saved by faith through grace, and that's it. But then what does it look like to live the Christian life? Work. It looks like laws. It looks like obedience. Or now that you have come to Christ through faith, you have to obey these laws. And you have to do these things. And not do these other things. And that's so often the way the Christian faith gets communicated. Now that you are saved by faith, you have to start living by works. And so we may be justified by faith. I mean, we talked about justification last week. But we are sanctified by work. You see. But you have died to the law. The works, the law, and our obedience to it plays no part in either our justification or our sanctification. Nothing. Oh no, we get that, Chris. We get that, because it's got to be a heart thing, right? It's got to come out of a changed heart. It's got to come out of a changed heart. Well, how do you change the heart? Well, you obey these rules. you do these works, and that sets good, healthy patterns in your life, and that good, healthy pattern changes your heart. Well, that's how it gets taught so much. That's right. Christ changes our hearts. That's so much of how Christian faith gets taught. Well, it's a heart thing. It comes from the heart. Well, what does it look like to change the heart? How do you change the heart? Well, you stop doing all those things, and you stop watching that TV show, and you stop watching those movies, and you stop wearing those clothes, and you stop wearing that makeup, and you stop having that haircut, and you stop wearing that jewelry, and you stop doing those things, and you stop doing these things, and you stop doing those things, and you start doing these things, and you start giving your money, and you start doing that stuff, and you set all these good, healthy patterns in your life by doing what is good and not doing what is not good, and so your heart changes. That's religion. That's just pure religion, folks. That's just pure religion and obedience to law. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it is. And it doesn't work. It changes no one. What happens when we communicate the Christian faith in that way? You get two results. You either get those who are really good at doing those obedient works, and so they're really, really good at it. And they're very successful at all those moral things and keeping those laws and doing the right stuff. And they're really, really good at it. And they work really hard and they serve really well. And they give their money and they don't watch television shows. And they dress like they've stepped out of a homeschool community in the 1950s wearing homespun shirts. And that's... And they don't watch television, and they don't watch movies, and they don't listen to music, and they've burnt all their albums from the 1960s, and they don't do any of that stuff. And they're really, really good at it. And inevitably they kind of go, well, I was really good at it, I can do it, why can't you do it? I did it. Why can't you? What's your problem? Well, you just need to do what I did. Give up all that other stuff. Walk away from that, your jewelry and your costumes and your funny hair and your haircuts and your worldly stuff. Walk away from all that and music and television and theatre, and stop doing all that and just go to church and pray and listen to Christian music the rest of your life. And those people inevitably begin to look down their noses at everybody else. So you produce successful religious people. Successful, very moral, very religious people. On the other hand, you get those people who try and they work really hard and they do and they're trying to obey the laws, but they actually quite like watching television, and so they find that, I enjoy Netflix and I enjoy watching things like on television. I actually like listening to Led Zeppelin. I think they're a great band and musically very cool. So I listen to a bit of Zeppelin, and I do this and I don't. Why can't I do that anymore? That's crazy. Like, what are you up with? I try really hard, but I find that I'm tempted by these things, and I've fallen into those things I'm not supposed to do, but then sort of clean myself up, and now I'm okay, and I can come to church again because I've stopped listening to that music and I've stopped watching those television shows, and so I've put all that behind me, and I've stopped doing whatever it was I was doing, and I've put on some clothes, and I've stopped wearing all the crazy makeup, and now I can come to church because I look like a good Christian person, and so I can come to church now. Now I can be accepted, and now I'm doing okay, and then bam, you fall over again, and it's all, oh no, I'm back in the same spot as I was before. What's happening now? Well, now I'm in the same rut I was before. I've just slipped straight off the side and then back into the rut, and now I'm walking the same rut. I don't know how to get out, and by my own, I'm just going to chin myself up to the top of the rut, and I'm going to pull myself up, and here we go again. I'm back on the top, and I stumble along for a couple of meters, and then whoops, I'm falling straight back into the same old rut. And then at some point you just go, I've had enough of this. I'm sick of this. I haven't the energy for this. It doesn't work. I've tried this Christian thing, and it's a failure. I'm a failure, and it doesn't work. I'm going to go do something else. Well, that's what happens. That's what happens when we communicate the life of faith as a life of work, a life of obedience to laws and rules. That's what happens. It's just pure religion, and it doesn't work.